Welcome to JP. Welcome to JP.
JP's
Welcome to
JP.
JP's. JP's. Welcome to JP's TV.
JP's TV, believe it or don't.
And welcome to JPTV, believe it or don't. Yes, indeed. I'm glad you all back in the building Sunday again, and I am here for the facts, here to give you the facts. I know a lot of people don't look at underground news, but I do. The media wouldn't, the liberal media would not show you what is really going on, and they not tell you what is really going on either, okay? I got a couple of topics for us today. First, we're going to go through what's been shown first. Well, I'm not going to get into the topics yet. Let me explain what is JPTV, believe it or don't, is all about. It is about bringing the people together through the truth, letting them know the truth, letting them see the truth so they can make a better judgment and not reacting so much. Okay, because a lot of us react. This is a platform to, what's the word I'm looking for? Retrain the Black's brain. Okay, it's to retrain them. You know, we got to retrain each other because a lot of things that we're going through, we're not realizing where it's coming from. It's always a foundation thing. It's always how was the foundation laid out. Okay. With that being said, today I am solo today. I did have someone coming. Maybe they will show up. I don't know, but we have to continue the show. All right. So today is Sunday, and you know I go live on Sunday. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. And when you are viewing this, I hope you learned something from this. It's great information on this show. And I just want to let you all know before we get into it, please
don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to JPTV, believe it or don't. Amazing content over there.
Yes, indeed. Amazing content over there. And I'd like to welcome you all. Thank you all for coming in, sharing this time with me. I really appreciate it. You taking your time out just to look at the video. I really appreciate it. It really brings me joy to my heart. And it also helps out the channel, which brings me extra joy to my heart. Okay, I thank you for that. Okay, so let's go along and let's get into what we got to talk about today. We have to talk about some good stuff. All right. Now, I went to the club this evening, a little lounge or something like that. I was trying to get, trying to see what was going on and check out the scene. And all I seen was stuff like this. I seen that, and I seen stuff like this. Well, let me not show you that yet. Let's go back to that first video. Look at this video. I don't know what's going on in the world these days, but it seems like the lesbians are taking over the club scene. They just taking over the grocery stores. Everywhere they're just taking over. And the men, like, should the men go out? Should the men go out? We can't even go out. We can't even go out because the women you try to dance with, hey, they would rather dance with the girl they brought or another female that they feel attracted to inside the club. And another thing, I was talking to my own girl about this, right? I told her that when it's a group of females, say it's about 3 or 4 y'all in pack, and one of her friends like the guy in my pack, right? But say if I go over there to holler at her, the girl would drag her away. No. Come over here. What the? I'm like, come on, man. How you gonna drag her away? I mean, what is that? I wish I had a female on here that can explain that. But someone out there in the comment section, please type or answer, why do females in a group, they find some guy attractive, and the friend drags them away? I don't understand the logic behind that. Or why are the females going out to the clubs anyway? To get drinks? That's what I think. Why y'all going out if the purpose of going out to the club is to meet? I just show them to meet. They hang out with me. Whoa, Tony, man. Hey, well, Tony, look, I guess that's a way of doing it, Jack. I haven't tried that one yet. Okay, I ain't tried that one and I ain't trying to get locked up. You show your freakiness to a girl these days, it scares her away. But the freakiness shown from another female, they like that shit. Yes, indeed, they like that shit. But why is that though? I mean, like I said, the purpose of going to the club is to meeting another gender besides yourself, the opposite gender, not the same gender. It has turned to just lesbians that's going wow. But the only thing that will get her to dance is what?
We got plenty money to blow, and I'm gonna make it rain up in here.
The money. The money will she will dance because of that. All on you too. But let you try to get, get all swagged up, go to the club, and guess what? She won't dance with your ass. Nah, she won't dance with you. I had a woman walk up. To me and ask me why I had some type of shirt on. I ain't come here to get asked questions. I came here to dance, to get my swerve on. I didn't come here to talk about what type of clothes I got on or something like that. But this woman is going crazy. Here's another example of women gone wild.
Today, I'm going to teach you how to cheat and get away with it. Head to shallonlester.com to shop my new merch line. I've got some great hoodies, phone cases, vision boards, and crop tops that you guys are going to love. And it's very, very hard to be with one person and then have a side dude. And for the purposes of this video, we're going to call them mistresses because it's very offensive that there's no like male name like misters. Like, what does that even mean? We're going to call side dudes mistresses, okay? Get on board.
Boring. And it's kind of sad that we're attracted to like the bad boy stereotype, and I feel like that comes into play because I have a strong character, so naturally I just want a strong man. Like I want somebody to be like, bitch, shut up, like you wrong, calm yourself down. It's to the point where, for example, like I've been talking to him for almost a month and we haven't done anything sexually because he's so nice that he's taking his sweet time with it.
Would you give it to him?
And I'm like, bro, just choke me right now and fucking throw me on.
Mixed messages. I tell you, first they want this, then they want that. Then you come to find out they ain't want neither one of that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's always something else. So you complete this level of satisfaction, then you got to reach and go to another level of satisfaction and conquer another level of satisfaction. That's too much. That's too much. And that's why women outlive men, because the women stress the man out. It won't happen. It won't happen. Don't get stressed out, fellas. Do not get stressed out because she will stress you out and you will die first. Okay? We got all this other shit to deal with. You will die off first, okay? In addition to this, women gone wild, women dancing with women, and it seems like the chance of a man is getting very slim these days. It seems like there is no way for a man to get in. Oh, thank you, John. Thank you for coming, man. Okay, I got your statement coming out. Hold tight for me, okay? The women has gone crazy, man. I mean, you just checking in. I was talking about women dancing with other women in the club and not letting the man have a chance to get his freak on. And that's what we came to the club for. We came to get the freak on, but all we get is this. All we get is women on women action in the clubs. And it's surrounded. First, I thought DC wasn't going to be with it because I'm in DC. Man, these females are on females. Like, for real. They would turn you away. Her friend would turn you away from a man that she like just because she can't get him. She gonna turn her away. Hey, nah, come on, girl, let's go over here. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's all women. You know, it's just no certain category. It is all women. So let me go through another point right here. And this is going to trip you out right here. This is going to trip you out right here. Okay. See, the women are going crazy. The women are going crazy, right? Check this shit out. The women are going crazy, which makes okay. Remember back in the day when the women had one gay dude he was hanging out with? Remember those days? You know, he was one gay dude, and he went out. I don't think he was calling her bitch back then or not. You know how the males, I don't even know what to call them. The homosexuals would call another woman a bitch nowadays, but when they was gay back in the day, you ain't really see that. You know, like the bitch. You don't really see that, right? But now, how do the women feel about this?
We're coming for them. We're coming for your children. We're coming for them. We're coming for your children. We're coming for them. Your children will care about fairness and justice for others. Your children will work to convert all the sisters and
Man. And that is in San Francisco, the first gay men choir up in San Francisco. Wow. They're saying that they will literally convert your children into what they feel is being free. And we will have a homosexual on the platform one day just to ask him or her some questions on how they feel. Because a lot of them think they're born like that, which is bullshit. They're not born like that. It's only a learned behavior, just like racism. Okay, so to get into that, I have a special guest on here. And we're going to get into a little discussion about Black leadership and why should Blacks have leaders? It's because it seems like the Blacks always need a leader, someone to follow, someone to say, oh, you're right, someone to listen to and say, oh, they're another color, so you shouldn't stick your Johnson in that. I would never have a man control how I would feel about love or how I would feel about a sexual need at that time. Because if you're going to fuck, you're going to fuck. I don't give a what color. If you want to get it in, you get it in, goddammit. Okay? And, some of the leaders, the real radical ones, told us not to integrate. However, we do have one that says that. And right now, we're going to highlight a guy named Dr. Umar Johnson. Okay, we're not going to spend too much time. We got a special guest that going to speak on his behalf today. And it also contributes to his school that will, and for the record, Dr. Umar was supposed to open up a school. Great idea. but sincerely, people have questions. So let me roll this soundbite, and I'm gonna bring my special guest in. Let me roll this soundbite first, and to let you all hear the emotional man.
Leadership Academy will be America's first school based off the principles of Pan-African nationalism and international economics. That's not what I'm doing, brother. I have a totally different concept for them. You understand? So if
the concept could be different, but the implementation of how
but I don't need his help implementing, brother, because I'm a certified school psychologist and a certified school principal who's experienced, who got a whole cadre of educators. See, y'all keep making these things. He needs to talk. No, I don't. Y'all don't know who I got. I got everything.
Why is somebody, you have all these credentials, and why is this man?
And another question, why he always blink so much? I don't ever trust a motherfucker that's always talking like this and shit, always blinking and shit. I mean, I don't know. I just see his body language. I mean, some people got their things, but he has the blinks.
Who we don't know was able to put his school together in a few months, and it's taken you 6 years, brother.
6 years is nothing for a school.
So what he was talking about, he's talking about another brother that created a school for the kids that are in need currently, right now, in real time, and he opened the school up, no problem. Yeah, he went and got loans and stuff like that. That's what you're supposed to do if you want it now. Now the children that are in need of that certain type of education, they're going to lose it by the time they get older. So this school that he's creating needs to open up now. Let me finish this.
I can show you 10 charter schools where the money is coming from the state, and it took them almost a decade to get open, brother. You don't open up a school in a year or two. I don't know your brother's story, and I don't care to know it.
So he doesn't care to know it. Why not? Information changes situations. So why not try to get or try to know how the other brother, because he down for the brothers, right? The other brothers' methods, and see if he can put it with his and make this a speedy process. But he's taking his time.
I don't care to know it.
Why not, though? If it could be helpful to you, why wouldn't you care to know it if it could be helpful to you?
Brother, I have friends who own schools. Do you understand that? I have friends who own schools. So if I need to talk to someone who owns a school, I already got that. I got what I need. The only thing missing from my equation is enough funds to complete the task. That's it.
So, okay, I'm gonna finish playing it, but I do have this question, right? If you have friends that own schools, then why not have a curriculum inside of one of those schools? I'm just saying, I don't know.
That's it. The school is not open yet because I don't have enough funds to do it that way. I'm not going to no bank.
Maybe we need fundraising, different fundraising methods. Maybe the people that we go to.
We have that in place, but what I want you to understand, it takes time to build institutions. I ain't got no problem with where we are. I'm loving where we at. We got our plans done by the engineer. We got our electrician chosen. I'm meeting with my HVAC this weekend. I got my plumber on standby. Roofer did his job. Carpenter lined up. We doing what we need to do on the time frame we doing it in. I don't need no.
Wow. So let me bring my special guest in, which is I would say a major contributor to Dr. Umar Johnson. And before I bring him in, the question will be, because my special guest showed me a receipt of him contributing to his to Dr. Umar's idea of opening up a school, which is a great idea if you knew where was the money going to. So the question will be, how do you actually know where the money went? Let's welcome in John, the old troublemaker.
What's good, man?
What up,
What's going
Jay?
on?
What's happening, man?
Ain't nothing, man. Another day.
Yeah, another day. So I want to bring you in because I know that, and I wanted to highlight Dr. Umar Johnson. And if it's something positive to say that you got from him, please say it. It's not like most blacks would think that when you ask questions about and you demand answers from another black guy that's doing something, it's like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh no, don't do that. So I want to know, what are your true thoughts on the length of time of the school opening up?
Okay, so that's a very important question, because that seems to be the biggest issue that the black community have with Umar Johnson is the amount of time that it's taken to build or to get the school open. So let's focus on one thing, and that is, what is he doing? What is he doing to get the funds, right? I think it's more of an indictment on the black community than it is on Umar Johnson, because the black community keeps asking Umar Johnson to get the school open. At first, y'all was talking about build the school. Then he got the school. Now y'all talking about, open the school. Well, when he first got the school, y'all said he didn't own it because the name wasn't on the deed or whatever. So it takes a couple months for that to happen. So y'all complained about that. Then that went through. Now y'all saying, well, when are you going to open the school? Okay, so every step of the way we complain about Umar Johnson. But when I say that it's an indictment on the black community, it's simply because he's asking the black community to fund the school. So what that means is, if the black community isn't donating, then the school can't be open. The school can't get all the elements it needs to be able to open and to function. So the question is, why isn't the black community donating to him so he can open the school? When that guy a few years ago that shot up the black church, the white boy, what did they do? What did his people do? Those white cops took his ass to Burger King because he was hungry. They looked out for him. They looked out for him. So how come we can't look out for somebody that's trying to do something positive in our community for our black boys, and then eventually our black girls, because he want to open up a second school? So if we are not donating, the school can't open. It's just that simple. So then again, the question is, why don't you get a loan like all the other schools? Well, you got to understand Umar Johnson, his position. He's a Pan-Africanist, meaning that everything is done by black people for black people. He can't go to the bank, because if you go to the bank and get a loan from the bank, who owns the banks? So if you get a loan from the bank, guess what happens? The bank, or whoever is donating, or whoever gives them the loan, has a right to the school. They have a right to the curriculum. They have a say-so into what goes on with the school. As opposed to black people funding the school, where it's owned, it's run and governed by black folks, meaning that there's no outside race that has anything to do with the school. That's the difference between Umar School and all these other schools that Lord Jamal was talking about. His uncle or somebody got the school. Once you go and get it financed by somebody else, they have a say-so in what goes on with that school. Just like the school that opened up a few years ago, LeBron James School. Everybody applauded LeBron James when he opened up that school out there in Ohio, I think Akron. Mm-hmm. But the school isn't by LeBron James. LeBron James is just a figurehead. He's just a name. He didn't put no money into building that school. If you look up his school, look at the faculty on that school. You have white teachers teaching black youth. And then they say, well, when they graduate, they get a free education at Akron University. Okay, great. But who's benefiting from this? Akron is a white university. So then you sending these kids from a public education, which is a white supremacist education, to a university that is also governed, owned, and run by white folks. That is the opposite of what Umar's trying to do. He's trying to create culture for African boys and girls. Also, you mentioned curriculum. The curriculum will be about the specialties in our society for our children to be able to survive, to be able to get the same education and understanding as white folks do, as far as learning how to do your taxes in high school, learning about investments in high school. These things are very important, where you don't have to pay for these things and go to school and then come out and don't get a job. You learn this stuff in high school or in elementary school with Umar Johnson. These are things that our kids should be learning in elementary, middle school, and high school. These are things that in the white communities that these white parents teach their children. We have no concept of investing.
You made a good point right there when you say that the white folks teach their children that. See, maybe that's the point, because everything's going to start from home. Everything's going to start from there. So if the home is not properly structured, then you have that chance, that open window to fall through the cracks of what we're going through right now. You know what I'm saying? Of not having that education or that thought of teaching your kids that. Anyway, I was going to ask you about private school and public schools.
There's a difference. There's a difference. And the difference is, when you have a public school, that means that the information that's been disseminated to the children has been written and is controlled by the government. As opposed to a private school, where the people who own the private school, who has control over what information is taught to the kids.
Right.
There is a difference. So what Umar Johnson is saying is simple. I want to teach my black boys, and then subsequently the black girls, the importance of self-love, their history, and how to be financially independent, culturally independent within this United States. So there's nothing wrong with that. So the question is, why aren't black people donating? Even if it's $1. Let me put it to you this way. Let me bring it to light, right? Put it in perspective. We have 40 million black people in America. If only 10 million people donated $1, think about that. 10 million people donate $1. You mean to tell me his effort, his vision is not worth $1? $1. If we all could just come together and just say $1 for you, $1 a year, 10 million people, $1 a year. He will get 10 million a year in a day. But when the new Jordans come out, we rush to the store. When the new Prada bag come out, we rush to the store. When Jay-Z and Beyonce came here about 3 years ago in the concert, they sold out in a minute. When they performed at the FedEx Field, they sold out in a minute. But then when we have a guy who's fighting, he's putting his life on the line also. He's putting his life on the line by doing this. He is doing something that no other black person is doing in America, what he's trying to do. You can't compare him to no one else.
So it's just amazing how that if this were to be true, which I hope it is for the most part, that he gets the school open, you have a lot of millionaires in the industry and stuff like that I'm sure they know about this, but
exactly. And where are they at? Where are they at? Where are the black millionaires, the black people with money? Where are they at? Let me tell you where they at. They won't donate to Umar Johnson because they are all financed by white folks. And white folks look over their money and their investments. They pay attention to their money and their investments. They are not going to let Umar Johnson be funded by their money. If they was to go and help finance Umar Johnson, trust me, they will lose sponsorships. They will lose a whole lot because Umar Johnson is going against the status quo. He's going against what white supremacy has labeled what America is. If we get back a connection with African culture, African belief system, not even African belief system, if we come together, if we as a black race here in America come together, that is the number one enemy to white supremacy. Is black empowerment, is black mobilization. What did you think they did to us in the 60s? When we was coming together with Martin Luther King. We was coming together under Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, all of them, they killed them. When you kill the leaders of a movement or a struggle, you cutting the neck off of the snake or the head off the snake. What happens? The body dies. In slavery, what did they do to the black male? They castrated the black male in front of the women and the children to set an example. So when you take down the head is the black male. If you take down the black male, you can take down the black power structure. And most of our rich, I would say all of our rich black people are financed in some way by a white entity.
So are you saying that black people in America don't own anything or don't have nothing, don't have no ownership at all?
What I'm saying is that less than 1% of all the wealth in America is owned by black people. Less than 1%. That's what I'm saying. So am I going to say 100%? No. But goddamn it, less than 1%. Less than 1% is owned. All the wealth in the United States, less than 1% is owned by black people, according to Dr. Claude Anderson.
What do you think about this? About the I asked how many blacks own banks. It seems like they do have some. How many black-owned banks are in America total, including credit unions? There are 44 black-owned institutions, financial institutions in the United States. Now, the question is, why can't you reach out to the black-owned banks and they do it, or are they operated behind some white folks? The white folks want to tell them no, that he can't get a loan because he's going to open up a store and he's going to talk about African culture and financial literacy. They're going to deny him. They're going to they basically they out to get people whose who's trying to teach them about themselves. Let me add that there should be a position of a father, and in our situation, well, most of the blacks, I don't want to say our because I'm trying so hard not to be in that situation. Everything has broke off during the 60s and 65, 70s. It's right here. Babies out of wedlock. So we have a lot of single homes. And the families headed by single parent was 75% amongst African Americans, 59 Hispanic families, white 38, Asians 20. And the whites are pretty high because they have a larger population than 13% of the blacks. But 13% of the blacks and the parents, single parents, and 75% being amongst 13% of the population is kind of disproportionate. And I think that has something to do with it. The traditional family structure in the United States is considered a family support system involving two married individuals, one man and one woman, providing care and stability for a biological offspring. Okay. So let me ask you, do you like football? You like football, basketball, and shit like that?
Sure do.
Are you a diehard fan? Like what's your favorite football team?
Washington football team. And well, that's the pros. In college is ironically the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Go figure.
And you'll be with them no matter what, right?
Yeah, that's who I grew up loving. Yes.
So, do we lose hope in teams or a certain boxer, or we just lose hope? And I know it's been some team players and some players on there that was like, oh man, you need to get away, man. We need to get rid of him, man. He ain't doing nothing but bringing the team down. We need to trade him. You know what I'm saying? So you lost hope in that individual, and without producing any results over a period of time, you as an individual, anyone as an individual, will lose hope. But we're not saying that. We probably give a little here and there, but the hope is running thin. And I don't know what the problem is. A lot of people go vlogging. If I were in his shoes, matter of fact, what would you do if you was in his shoes and they were asking, oh, let me see that. Let me see that. Let me, what would you do?
You talking about Umar Johnson?
Yeah.
And if I was in the shoes of Umar Johnson when he was talking to Lord Jamar?
No, about the people saying that they wanted to see the school and stuff like that. And you know what I'm saying? We want updates.
Well, the thing about it is that I get all of Umar Johnson's videos every time he makes a video, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram, he pops up. What people got to understand is that, and what made him so emotional that day, is that it's not necessarily the questions Lord Jamar was asking. He has no problem answering the questions. Mm-hmm. The problem is he's already answered all those questions. He answered all them. Look, every interview he does, he's asked the same question over and over and over again. What Lord Jamar was doing was pandering to the people who are on YouTube, who don't take the time to go do their own research, but yet they got something negative to say. Like even you, JP, you didn't even know he had a school up.
No, I did.
You didn't even know he had a school up.
Yeah, I did. Look, Watch this.
No, JP, you didn't know he had a school up. I'm the one that told you.
No. Up
JP.
and what? Up and running?
No, you did not.
FDMJ.
Hold on, here we go.
We working, we pushing. This will be a school for black boys. We don't care who don't like it. It will be a school for black boys. Okay? Now y'all can listen to them or y'all can listen to us. The only people who know what's going on inside of this school are those of us who are here making the job work. You come in, you know what I'm saying? In fact, Manny got a little word for the haters one time.
Right, we in the building, bro. Like, the haters shit don't even matter. We here. We working, we painting, we building. We building for the boys, bro. Girls is coming. FDMG.
Boom. So yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Only got a little bit of juice on the phone. Only got a little bit of juice. Only got a little bit of juice on the phone. You feel me? Phone about to die, but I just wanted to let y'all know we up in here making it pop off. All my donors, I love you. All y'all who've been with me since we took the first donation in St. Louis in 2014. I want to say thank y'all.
Now that's the
I want to say
that's the only updated one that I can find. And
No, what I'm saying is he's been doing updates since he got to school. Periodically, he'll film from the school. He'll tell you what's going on. But if nobody go and do the research, it's very frustrating to him to have to answer the same questions every interview, every lecture, every YouTube video that he does. He gets frustrated. If I'm constantly answering the same question every time I'm interviewed, I'm going to get pissed off too. It's that simple. He's human like anybody else. If you want to know, I have a plethora of YouTube videos you can go and look up. Matter of fact, if you're going to interview me, why haven't you gone and done the research on what I'm about and what I'm doing first? Why do I have to give everything on the show? Why aren't we talking about more positive things other than things that's already been said, has already been talked about? He talked about how much money that he has. He talked about how much money he has raised. He talked about where the school is located, how many buildings there are, what his curriculum consists of. He talked about these things. He got to school in February of 2018. Where is everybody at? I met another person was talking mess about Umar Johnson and didn't even know he had a school. So if you're going to sit here and just rip this man and you don't even know the man has a school, you need to shut the hell up and donate. How about that? How about stop ridiculing this guy and donate? Do something about it instead of hating on him. That's hate. That's hate because you're not doing the research. But yet you out here spewing these negative things that aren't even true. Talking about he taking the money. What you mean he's taking the money? The school right there. Before he got to school, everybody was talking about he's taking the money. Where's the school, Omar? He gets to school now. They talking about you don't own it because we look it up on the internet. We don't see your name on the deed. Then a couple months go by. It's a process. So a couple months go by. His name's on the deed. Oh, when you going to open the school, Umar? So now, but the problem is, if all you're going to do as a black person is talk shit about him and don't donate, then the school would never open. It's that simple. That simple. If you're not going to donate, the school won't open. Period. It's not about Umar. If Umar had the money, he would do it. So black people, if instead of talking shit, donate to that man. Help him out. And if he don't open the school after he gets the money that he needs to open the school, then you can rip his ass. Then I'm done defending him. But until he gets that money from the black community who spend $2 million a year on Air Jordans, I think he was like 4 or 5, I think it was in the billions on alcohol.
4 million in alcohol.
or 4 million in alcohol.
And
the black community.
The beauty of cosmetics is the highest.
Yeah, exactly. That's the highest. Y'all spend all this money on shit that don't even matter, and you giving all the money outside of the black community. Nobody in the black community owns that shit. All that millions of dollars going to somebody else, and you hollering about racism. Shut your ass up.
Well, thanks
Shut your ass up.
Thanks for clearing that part up. We're working on time. So I have some shocking news. Check this out. Over the weekend, Chicago has gone wild. I mean, a lot of things is happening in certain areas, even in your area. But it's always shocking when it hits home, then you want to react. So the problem with the blacks are failing families. That's the nit grit right there. But basically in Chicago, guess what happened? A 1-month-old child is fighting for her life. 1-month-old baby shot in Inglewood. Check this out.
Every single day yourself. Neighborhood activist Charles McKenzie is overcome by emotion as his 1-month-old niece continues to fight for her life after she and a half dozen others are hit by gunfire in Inglewood. I can finish it for him. It's hard when we out here fighting every day for everybody else and then they hit home. Yeah, that's why. That's what you want to say. Yes. It hit home this time. 1-month-old Terriana Smith remains hospitalized after being shot in the head during a brazen daytime attack near 66th and Halstead in the Southside community. The baby is in guarded condition after having successful surgery this morning.
It didn't touch my brain, so it was just at the top, at the top of her head. So they just had to close it up.
Video footage from a nearby security camera captured the violence. It shows 3 gunmen shooting in all directions after pulling up in a dark-colored Jeep as residents ran for their lives. Then the shooters jumped back in the vehicle and speed away. No one is in custody as police process the family's bullet-riddled SUV they used to rush the wounded infant to the hospital. Some neighborhood residents say a liquor store on the block where the shootings happened is a source of the problem.
We don't need people coming in the community, speaking to community leaders if they have not spoken to the residents.
According to Chicago police, 172 children have been shot and 25 kids have been murdered so far this year. Reason why some pray for the violence to end, as they also call for an end to the code of silence they say often allows the shooters to escape justice.
Someone held you, someone covered you, someone loved you, but then you showed love back by taking and shooting this baby. You know, we're doing it to ourselves.
He's exactly right. We are doing it to ourselves. And this is for the white supremacy believers out there. They always want to blame white supremacy on something, or they want to blame the behavior of the blacks on the white supremacy and stuff like that. I'm going to play my little homeboys clip. Shout out to Marcus Hemingway. Play my homeboys clip and let me know what you think about this.
All right, people. It's the summer months, and white supremacists are ambushing young black men in corner stores. So, wait a minute. White supremacists don't go in black neighborhoods? Okay, I'm sorry. White supremacists do not enter black neighborhoods. Wait a minute. White supremacists are not shooting young black people? It's black people? Okay. Well, again.
white supremacists don't roll into hood and start shooting up babies and, you know, just everyone that they're not supposed to hit, they hit anyway. And Chicago is going crazy, and the mayor is no
Thousands
good.
of unsolved shootings and murders and stabbings and random stabbings in the downtown and the south side and the north side and the west side.
And she black.
Thousands of unsolved shootings and murders and
a lesbian.
Thousands of unsolved shootings and murders and stabbings and random stabbings in the downtown and the south side and the north side and the west side.
Crime is not out of control in our city. In fact, crime is on the decline. All of our major indices showed a decline in crime, and our homicides and our shootings year over year are down. That's a fact, sir. And you, sir, I was polite and allowed you to spew your rhetoric, which is offensive to me and others, but I'm trying to be polite and professional and answer your question. But if you want to write your own narrative and irrelevant to what I'm going to say and what the facts are, then we'll just...
Lies. Lies, 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 lies. And she black. She black. She black. But I guess she's not down for the blacks. Lying like that on national TV, saying that the crime is not a problem up there. Maybe she's with the agenda as well. I didn't think about that. That you have these Democrats, black Democrat so-called community leaders, denying the fact that there's a problem going on amongst the blacks. And they blame it on racism. They blame it on white supremacy. They blame the behavior on the blacks, that whites are privileged and they aren't. But it seems like they can shook and jive. You see how that dude was with the gun? I mean, goddamn, he been watching some motherfucking Grand Theft Auto or something. He flipped on the floor, start going like that. He should join the military. At least you get some housing. You know what I'm saying? You get a lot of benefits. You know what I'm saying? You can actually benefit from using a gun you want to carry and stuff like that. You like being in war. You know what I'm saying? You like that hot shit. You like that tough shit. Man, check in, man. Go and get some motherfucking benefits, man. And you start your own business and do what you need to do. You know, if you're like that. John, what do you think about black leaders misguiding the people, lying to their face? And this is the mayor. She's the mayor.
Well, what I think about black leaders lying to the people, well, you have to understand that there's a difference between blame and accountability, right? So accountability is when someone takes responsibility for something, for a transgression or a mistake that they may have done or committed to themselves or to somebody else. Okay? I think that we're not blaming white supremacy, but we're asking for accountability by white supremacy. There's a difference. You're muted.
My bad. In that situation, how is it not our own accountability and it's someone else's?
Well, JP, we had this talk before, but
okay.
let me go back to your question.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this mayor, I don't know. Well, Chicago's a mess, but I don't know if she's telling the truth or not. I haven't looked at the reports or what, but I'm going to take her word. If she says that the crime rate is actually gone down, but that's not saying much in Chicago, because in Chicago, every year the crime rate is high. So if she's saying that the crime rate is actually down, I'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
But there are black people that's running it though.
See, that's where we're going to separate. Yes, there's puppet heads that are in charge, just like Obama was the puppet head for white supremacy when he was the president. Look.
But you didn't have to be so willing to do it. Just because you put a gun in your hand don't mean, okay, shoot everybody that poses a threat.
JP, who makes guns?
Anybody can make a gun now.
JP, who make the guns?
They're making guns in jail and shit. I don't know how the fuck they be doing that shit.
JP, is there such thing as the NRA?
Yeah.
Okay, so the NRA are responsible for the vast majority of guns in this country.
Okay.
Who owns the guns?
People.
Who owns the NRA? Is it a black man?
Probably a white dude.
Okay, so again, accountability and blame are two different things.
So you
I do blame black folks. Huh?
Ain't no guns in jail. They be stabbing up niggas left and right. They make their own shanks.
Okay, but look at who are the people that's doing the shooting. There aren't rich white people running around killing each other. It's the poor black people that's running around killing each other. All the major black inner cities in America has a lot of crime. Why? You think black people are just born just killing each other?
But
you just said
you standing on the corner all day. Why? They can't. You say you can't get a job, right? That's what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying. Not in today's time. If you want a job, you can find a job. But it's called learned behavior. The same thing that you, JP, was talking about when homosexuality. You said you're not born that way. It's learned behavior. So now you cannot change the narrative when we're talking about black on black violence.
Okay.
It's learned behavior.
So you can
learn behavior.
And you can overcome that. You can overcome
You can, but how can you overcome that when the leaders of the black community are being financed by the very people that are responsible for the condition of these poor black inner cities? They're just puppet heads, man.
Look. See, if you keep look, this is why I'm gonna catch you right here, though. This is why I'm gonna catch you right here, right? Because you keep saying, "Oh, who owns this? Who's owns that? Who owns money?"
What you mean? Who owns money?
Oh, now you caught up. Who owns money? Who prints
the money?
Right.
The U.S. government prints the money. I think
so doesn't every person, even a black person, whether the dollar's going to come from, is always going to come from the white man? So what difference does it make of who you're getting funded from when it's all printed, surrounded by the white man?
That's my point.
So
this country,
Dr. Umar's stop, but he does have. It seems like he got a school, and he seems like that he needs more funding.
Right.
It doesn't have to come from a black hand because the dollar is coming from a white man.
What is your point?
Everything that you're saying, okay, put it like this. America is white, okay? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to keep saying, oh, I can't use that because it's white? Oh, shit. Oh, let's go over here. I can't use it because it's white.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
How are you going to get out of that?
How are you going to get out of that? That's a very complex question. That's a multifaceted question right there, because there's various ways we can get out of it, but it all starts with leadership, whether it comes from black leaders or, as you stated, from the home. But how can black folks become or make decisions that are based on the benefit of black people when everything that we are watching, we are listening to, is designed to destruct the black community? We talk about the music, like someone said in the chat. The music is a big detriment to our culture. We as Black people, we look at entertainers. We look at people we see on TV, in most cases, as leadership, even over our Black parents. We will fight our parents to do what we see white supremacy putting out on the internet or on TV or in the music or in the movies. We will go against our parents to be able to do these things, to be able to buy all these white products, to look for our women to look like white folks with that long blonde hair. When you got nappy ass black hair, we will go against our own people. But how can we successfully be proud of who we are when we are continuously bombarded with the white ideology of what beauty is, what music is, what finance is, what Black people are? They define who we are based on their racist and bigoted understanding, or I should say viewpoint of Black history. How can we get out of that when we are being bombarded in every direction by white ideology?
That's not true.
That is true.
So that there are owners of a music industry that are Black. If you don't know,
who?
QVC, Quality Control, founded in 2013 by CEO Pierre P. Thomas and co-founder Kevin Coach K. Lee. Quality Control Music surrounds. What is that? Nurture, surround. Let me go to the actual page. I can't see. Groundbreaking acts as Migos, Lil Yachty, and the Rich Kid. These are the owners. Lil Yachty. Basically, these guys, these Black guys, are getting money. I mean, they living the life. They getting money, man.
JP, this is an embarrassment. JP, you're proving my point. Do you understand?
No, you said that they can't. They're stopped. They're bombarded. But these people have made a way for other Black people to join their team as an artist. These are the owners of this music. They're the ones. They created this.
JP, do you listen to Lil Yachty music? Have you heard his music?
No.
Okay, so again,
I heard the Migos.
Okay, you heard the Amigos.
I like them.
Is there anything in the Amigos music that is uplifting for the Black community?
No, I don't think so.
Exactly. That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. I don't care who QVC are.
Okay, but they're Black.
What does that mean? JP, I can own a record company myself.
They are willing.
No, JP, no. I can own. It doesn't take a lot of money to own a record label, JP. All it takes is a few $100s to get a record label. It doesn't. That's not a good example you just posted. Because even though they're Black, guess what? They're putting out the same bullshit that these major record labels are putting out. Music that is detriment and poison to the Black ear of the Black youth, that is promoting that violence, which is making these kids, or putting the idea in the kids' head that killing, calling women bitches is the way to live.
This wasn't an example of being a positive thing. This was an example of reaching a higher stature that you can reach, and also being willing to destroy the rest of the people's minds. While you do own a company as a Black guy or a Black woman, that you are so willing to be along with the agenda. Most blacks aren't, but the ones who wants to destroy the blacks, they do exist. And you have to be real. And just because they are black doesn't mean we have to justify their behavior on destroying the rest of the minds of the people, because it's a battle between good and evil. That's all it is.
So then who's the good? Well, then identify who's the good and who's the evil. Who's the good?
The good are the ones that think for themselves, and they don't get emotional and make rational decisions or overreact. They think about what's, the consequences, and they don't really try to get into stuff like that because they already know the outcome, because they are already know themselves, basically.
JP, let me ask you this. So you say that the key to black pride and the improvement of the black conditions in America is based on the parental skills of the child. I mean, of the child, right? Or the children, right?
Of the parents, right?
Yeah, the parental skills of the parents on the children.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. The parent is going to learn it where?
They have to learn from their parents, or if their parents weren't there, they would have to learn from the uncle or grandfather.
Right.
And that's usually
exactly. I got you. I got you. But then who's going to teach that black parent or black uncle?
Hold up. What you mean? Oh, where did he get his teachers from?
Yeah, where's he going to get it from?
Probably from his grandfather. That's how it used.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that it has to trickle down throughout the generations of the family, right?
The improvement, yes.
Exactly. But exactly my point. So you have to now go back into history, which you don't like to do.
You don't have to go that far. I mean, it
has to come from somewhere. If my grandparents wasn't taught financial literacy, if my great-grandparents wasn't taught financial literacy, then my parents aren't going to be taught financial literacy. And so on and so forth. So somebody has to break the curse, right?
Yes.
But if none of us learn it, then how are we going to teach it?
You will learn it. That's the thing in life. You will come around and learn different things. You know what I'm saying?
That's a pipe dream. That's a pipe dream. You saying you will learn it, but you're not telling me how. If you're telling me that the best way is by the parents teaching the child, but what if the parent never learned? In order for the parent to learn, their parent had to teach them.
Someone had to step up, yeah.
So we have millions of black families who are like that.
I didn't get financial literacy from my father, neither, or any institution. I started learning it like when I got out around certain people, teaching me little tricks in here and there. So it's like,
yeah, your white folks, your white friends.
When you get
your white friends.
No, I mean,
your white friends.
I mean, I went to a good school. I went to Wilson, and it was diverse. And
exactly.
Yeah. So the information will get out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but in the black,
you're saying black people are so crazy and dumb that they don't even know how to get with another source to get what they need to get to teach what they need to teach.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the majority of the black kids in these ghettos don't even have the understanding to go look for the information. They are being bombarded with this rap music when they 3, 4, 5 years old. They're teaching our young black women to be on what's that the little pay site, they go out there and show their pussy and shit.
Oh, Facebook. I mean, fans. Shit.
Yeah, that's what we're being hit with. This is what our young boys and young women are being taught at early ages. We're not being taught financial literacy. We're not being taught to have self-love and self-pride in you and your culture. We are not taught that in none of these public schools, because we sitting there in elementary school, we're pledging allegiance to the damn flag. We're learning white people education. Why don't we know that majority of, if not majority, the overwhelming majority of all the inventions in the United States come from the mind of African people?
Okay, but everyone knows that.
No. Ask the average 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old boy in elementary, because that's when they need to be taught. That's when they need to be taught, because that's when they're indoctrinated with this white ideology. And that's how they grab onto our children, just like religion does. Why aren't they taught that in first grade?
What is white ideology?
White ideology is diametrically opposite of black ideology, meaning that anything that's in favor or to the benefit of the white power structure. That's what white ideology is.
And what have they been in favor of, ultimately?
The decimation of the black male.
So you're saying, you're not talking about all white people, right? I mean,
well, all white people are racist.
So
that doesn't mean that all white people are bad people. It doesn't mean that all white people are bad people. It doesn't mean that all white people don't like black people. Racism has nothing to do with emotions. It has everything to do with control. It doesn't have to do with emotions. That would be bigotry. That would be prejudice. That has nothing to do with racism. Racism is a systemic control of one group of people over another group of people's reality, financially and politically and so on and so forth. That's what racism is. And anybody that capitulates to that is by definition racism. Or if you don't do anything about it, you by definition are racist. If you benefit from it in any way and don't speak against it or fight against it, you are by definition racist. So if there's a white person that's living out there in a rich white neighborhood, all the way from what's going on the black neighborhoods, and you're living your best life,
the blacks hate it.
You are benefiting from white supremacy.
Come on, man.
And that was fact. It's fact.
So when you sell drugs and you make a whole not thousands, millions of dollars, are you still I know. Are you still going against the white man, or are you on his team?
You're on his team. You on his team. Absolutely. You on his team. But understand that there is a mechanism behind that. There is a mechanism behind the drugs.
So how do we get into drugs?
Ask the CIA. Ask the CIA.
So you telling me if there's a big bucket of coke just dropped in the middle of the hood, what would happen? Motherfuckers start killing each other, try to get it, right?
Facts.
But some blacks won't.
Facts.
So the ones that do, why? Well, why do you think that is?
Because that is their way of making money. That's what their
the only way to make money, because after that, these are the people that we praise as rappers and stuff like that.
I just told you the rap music is a detriment to the black community. Mm-hmm. So you're not going to hear that from me.
So are those blacks racist? Since they're out, just like the white people are out for the detrimental of whatever words you said to blacks. Could those blacks be racist as well? Because
they're not racist.
Oh, you switched the
But
term.
what they, but no, they're not racist. But what they are, black people can't be racist.
Oh, okay.
They can't be racist. Blacks can be bigots. They can be prejudiced, but they can't be racist.
How do you decipher the two?
Decipher the two of what? I just explained to you what racism is.
Okay, what about bigot?
Bigotry has to do with your perception of another group of people. How you feel about another group of people, whether it's their religion.
That's the same as racism, right?
No, racism is systemic control.
You just
systemic
said
control.
You just said over another people. That's synonymous to control, right?
Racism is, yes, but not bigotry. Bigotry is an emotion. Prejudice is an emotion. Biases is an emotion. Racism is not an emotion. Racism is a control. It's a mechanism that's used. It's like a machine. A machine doesn't have feelings. That's what racism is. Now, bigotry and prejudice and all that is a byproduct of racism, no doubt. But you can independently have bigotry and racism.
Let me ask you something. At the end of racism, could you lose a life? Like if someone was racist, and could you lose a life of an action of racism? You can lose
a life. Hell, Marvin Gaye's father killed him. So I mean, you can lose a life from a family member. So what's the point? What's your point?
So when you play with your mind with the terms and just call it evil, it is what it is. Why black people always want to use a term to fit their narrative to blame?
It's not a narrative. It's not a narrative. If you look in the dictionary, which was created by white folks,
why I don't have to look in there just to figure out these are good people and these are evil people. I don't need to go in the dictionary.
No, we're talking about the terms. You was talking about the terms, and I'm telling you, the word racism is defined in the dictionary. All you got to do is look it up, and it wasn't created by black people. So your white friends, grandfathers or whoever created the term. So it's their word, it's their creation. They decide what racism is. I'm just telling you because a lot of you don't know.
You believe the white words, right?
I believe it because I see it happening. It's actually being applied in real.
From the white man, you shouldn't believe that. It came from the whites. You should be the one that say, I don't even believe that. I don't know what term they trying, because it's an emotional term. You know it's emotional because the word
racism is not emotional.
Racism gets all the blacks emotional, and they start to react when it's just person calling them out their name. Racism. When a white person called a motherfucking black person a nigga, the first thing they gonna say, this racist motherfucker called me it. You know what I'm saying? That's what they gonna say.
Well, a white person shouldn't be calling a black person nigga based on the history of the word from a white person to a black person. Yes, I'm gonna knock your ass the fuck out.
And it happens.
And it will happen again. And it will happen again.
So thinking about seeing and believing things. When you actually see it, you believe it, right? When was the last time, or I know you mentioned some security job, but did you get affected by racism today? Or white supremacy today?
Yes, JP. I'm affected by it everywhere I look, everywhere I see. I'm in Laurel right now, right?
And how is white supremacy affecting you right now?
Because every store that I see is owned by white people. Every black person that goes into these stores and pay their money is going to the hands of a white person. When you finance white folks, You give them the money and the power to commit racist acts or be racist towards you as black people.
So no black people are feeding their families, huh?
We all feeding our families.
Do you like America?
Yeah, I like America. It's cool. I'm here.
Do you want to stay in America?
If I was able to find a better place to live where, around my people who, where we can build our own country, our own laws. Yeah, I would rather go there.
Oh, you think that's going to happen? Do you think, are you proud to be an American?
I'm not going to say proud. No, I'm not proud. I'm not proud to be I'm okay with being here, but I'm not going to say I'm proud to be an American. I don't salute the flag. I don't stand up for the Star Spangled Banner. I don't pledge allegiance to no flag.
So when you're born in a certain, it's just like the gangs, right? When they beef with the other blacks across the street or across the bridge, and they do all of this in America. They seem like they can get away with it, of having these gangs and stuff like that, and all types of killing, robbing, stealing, just like Nina Marcus the other day. So, all the blacks ran in there, started snatching stuff, and ran out the building. I guess that was white supremacy as well. So I think white supremacy told them, hey man, go ahead, rush in there and go ahead and get some because you're struggling, man. So go ahead and go into the store and put your mask on, because everybody wearing a mask and it's cool. They ain't gonna be fucking with you because ain't gonna go in there, just rip the shit off and just run.
JP, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
You heard the term crabs in the barrel, correct?
Right.
Okay. You heard the wharf, right?
No, I didn't hear that one. The wharf. Oh yeah.
Yeah, the wharf. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at it this way. All right. So you have some fishermen that goes into the ocean, just pull up thousands of crabs, right? You take the crabs, you sell them to a business. The business takes the crabs and they put them in a container or whatever, right? You have, let's say, 20 crabs in a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
You sell it to a person. The person take this bucket of crabs home.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get home, you make the pot. You put the butter or whatever you put the seasoning into the pot. And while you're doing that, you look into the bucket and you see all the crabs trying to get out, but then you see another crab pulling one down, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. Are you upset with the crabs who are trying to get out of their makeshift habitat? Or are you upset with the people who put them in that position to begin with? Because understand, those crabs, when they were free, when they were in the ocean, when they were in their own habitat, they wasn't pulling each other down. They only started pulling each other down when they was put in a condition of survival.
All blacks.
Same thing with,
all blacks.
No. What I'm saying.
What's going on in America with black folks is a direct result of us being taken out of our own habitat and put in somebody else's rule and government. Put us back where the fuck we was at. Stop trying to judge us based on your policies and your beliefs in your country. And judge us based on how we live in our culture. See, it's easy to say blacks are murderers when you take us out of our culture, put us in yours, and expect us to live under your rules and regulations.
That's not true. They were killing black people on wherever you saying the other place is. They've been killing other tribes and shit like that. Black tribes having slaves, black kings having black slaves and stuff like that. So You can't negate that fact. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So the
but
killing been there, even when no white people wasn't even around. No white people wasn't around, and guess what? The killing, murdering, stealing was still there.
But it was our land.
Okay, but okay,
it's our land.
But, okay,
it's our land.
Still, okay, yeah, all right, it was your land, and what happened to it? You know what I'm saying? We use it as what? A battlefield at some times. Fighting for what? Territory. Oh, I want to own all of it. I want to own everything. You know, and Lena, that was a great point that you made. Right there. I'm gonna bring that up after I bring John back in. Okay. John, okay, man, just to the screen.
Yeah, something happened with my audio. Someone called me and it knocked my Bluetooth out and shit. So yeah, but go ahead.
I was reading one of her comments. But you know what I'm saying? Not all. Back to the crab thing. All of them. That's crazy because all of them about to die anyway.
Exactly. Exactly.
All them crabs about to die anyway.
Exactly. That's my point. When you were the crabs were they pulling each other down when they were in the ocean, when they were free? So we judge the crabs based on their current condition in the bucket. But we're not judging them based on when they were free. How were they living then?
Oh, it goes down. That's the point of survival. And nature.
But they were in their own habitat.
Well, they probably was.
If that's how they live, in their own habitat, then let them live. But don't take them out of.
I understand, but humans have a more advance of knowing how to maneuver. The body is amazing. The mind is amazing. So you would learn or run across someone that says something positive to you, and for you to take that necessary step. It's all up to you. And that's what we have to teach about them. We have to teach that, just like leaders like Umar Johnson and Louis Farrakhan. We have to teach that to be in a family, you know what I'm saying, to keep a family down. But they only want all black families. See, that's when the people lose hope, because you're directing them on what you want them to do. You know what I'm saying? Or how you should feel about something. And never let a man tell you on how you should feel about something. That's
funny. That's funny you say that when white supremacy is telling us all how we supposed to be governed here in America. We follow the rules of men. The Constitution was written by men to tell you and to govern how you live in this country.
So you go exactly by that.
We get our ass locked up if we don't.
Well, that should be normal. You should have some type of consequence.
I totally understand that. But you said never let a man tell you, and I'm sitting here telling you a group of white men wrote the Constitution telling you what the hell to do.
No, I'm not saying. I mean, if you want to, I understand that point, but I'm talking about as in love and where you want to stick your Johnson into. And if you had a baby, because it's only for black boys.
He's not telling you anything. He's not telling you what to do.
He doesn't like interracial marriages and stuff like that.
Right.
So he would deny you, just like he denied most of the NBA stars that had.
He never said he would. He never said he would deny you. What he said is that if you marry a white woman, you still my brother. He said it on multiple occasions. You still family, even if you're gay. He said, or lesbian, homosexual, whatever. He said you still family, but you cannot be, if you are a white man or and you marry you're a black man, you marry a white woman, you cannot be the head of a black organization that is in charge of the self-empowerment of our young black youth. How does that look with a white man, a black man with a white Caucasian woman on his arm telling black boys and girls how to be black?
Things? How can you tell somebody how to be black? Why won't you just tell somebody about the financial literacy, how to control your emotions, how to maneuver in this world? Why you just say, oh, it's just we gotta teach them how to be black? How do you teach someone?
Because who else is teaching us? The white man isn't teaching us. Where are we going to learn our culture from?
How do you teach?
Answer my question. Answer my question. Where are black people going to learn their culture from, their heritage, if we don't teach ourselves what it is? Where are we going to learn it from?
I don't think that's going to liberate you.
No, that's not the question. That's not the question. Whether liberates us or not is not the question. I'm asking you a direct question. Mm-hmm. If we don't teach ourselves to have self-pride and self-love of who we are and understanding of where we come from, who we were, who is going to teach us if black people don't teach black people? Is white people going to tell us? Well, they tried to, but they lied. Is the East Indians going to tell us? Oh, they don't give a damn about us. Is the Hispanics going to tell us? No, they're not African. They didn't come from Africa. They have no connection to Africa. So who's going to tell us? So that's what Umar Johnson is talking about. If he don't do it, then who's going to do it? That's the problem. If we want to act like black heritage and culture does not exist,
you're missing the point. Fine. A lot of people get a lot of YouTube views. You know, I looked at the stuff, 30,000, 134,000.
That's crazy.
So you saying that all the stuff that he's been saying as far as doing this, doing that, he's been doing this, he's been doing lectures everywhere, he's been doing that. And so he has been doing that.
He's supposed to. And why isn't the school system, why isn't the public educational system teaching that in the schools? They teach us white history. They teach us about Abraham Lincoln, but they don't teach the truth about Abraham Lincoln. They teach that he freed the slaves, but they don't teach.
You can do that on YouTube, bro.
Why does it have to be? No. Why do black people have to go find niches and holes to learn about themselves?
Because you have to adjust during the time.
What times? It's always been that way. Everything
is digitized now, man. So everything, if you don't get into the digital world, you'll be lost.
JP, what you're talking right now is white supremacy. You're telling me there's a black man. I go to a public school. I get free education, free teaching to learn about all the founding fathers who are white. But you're telling me that now I have to go home and look up my heritage. That is the very definition of white supremacy, dog. That's the very definition.
So what do you think he got? How do you think people know about Dr. Umar? He went out and was talking, right? And people gravitated to him, right? He built a following. When the internet came out, he built a more large following.
Let me put it in terms so you understand, because me and you agree on this. Religion, right? You don't believe in that stuff. I don't believe in it. It's the same concept. The reason why a lot of the stuff that we know about religion is so prevalent today, why there's less and less people who are believing in that stuff, is because of the advent of the internet and information coming through. Prior to the internet, the things that we know today was not public knowledge. It was controlled by religious folks. It was controlled by the Vatican. It was controlled by the powers that be. The advent of the internet allowed information to now become public knowledge. The same thing with Black history. Same thing with Black history. The reason why we know what we know today is because of the advent of the internet and the dissemination of the information to our people, which we would not have known if the internet did not exist. So then how would we know about Mansa Musa? How would we know about West Africa?
I'm saying that's crazy. You telling me I gotta know somebody about 2,000 years ago just to have an established family and know how to work hard?
No.
I gotta do what I have to do.
No. White supremacy teaches you how to do that in their way. So you don't need to know your history to learn that.
I'm saying, what if I do know about Mansa Musa stuff? Is he like gonna appear and give me some gold or something? Like,
there you go.
What if I do know about it? Okay, you know about it too. And so what has that put you in a better position that you know about Mansa Musa?
Well, not just Mansa Musa, but just our heritage as a whole.
Yeah, so all of
that. So the point is that when you learn about who you are, you know how you got here, and you know who's responsible for how you got here, and you understand why you're in the condition you're in, even though you have the right and the freedom to go to school, to get an education, start a business, but you're under no illusion. You're under no illusion that you are free here. There's a difference. There's a difference between freedom and liberty, as Umar Johnson would say. There's a difference between freedom and liberty. Black people have liberty, white folks have freedom. Liberty is when you have the ability to do what you want with external control. Freedom is the ability to do whatever you want to do without the external control. That's the difference.
What is external control?
Remember, the external control is the white supremacist bubble that I was talking to you about a while ago. The white supremacist ideology, rules, laws, regulations that governs this country. We didn't make the laws, JP. Black people didn't make the laws.
They're making it now. They're making it now. And our local officials.
No. Understand this. See, you're still in a delusional state right now. You need to put the weed down. We may be in position of higher power in the government, but just like I said with Barack Obama, he's a figurehead. Like Farrakhan said about Barack Obama. Barack Obama was just in charge of white affairs. That's all it is. It's still a white supremacist agenda that Obama was governing over or ruling over. That's it. He was just a black man governing over or taking leadership over white affairs. That's all it is. He's a puppet head. Same thing with these black leaders you keep talking about. These black leaders. It's still a white supremacist agenda that they're ruling over, that they're in charge of.
So why not go to another place? If the blacks always scream about racism and stuff like that, they have the ability to do whatever they need to do to travel freely, to go wherever. But nevertheless, it happens in America and it stays in America. But they'll complain and they don't want to get into politics. They want to let the Democrats take on over, which was all black.
Democrats or Republicans. Democrats or Republicans. You keep saying Democrats. Republicans trash too. They trash too, man.
I mean,
trash too.
Now they are. Truly, now they are, since they lost the greatest president ever. So you're right. Now it seems like they're gonna have to do something else. But anyway, the blaming has to stop. There's no such thing as white supremacy. There would no, if there's white supremacy, there has to be black supremacy as well.
All right, show me where there's black supremacy.
What you mean? Blacks control blacks, don't they?
No, we don't control blacks. White folks control the blacks.
White folks control the blacks to kill the blacks?
White folks created the white folks created the conditions in which black folks live, which leads to the behavior that we have shown.
White folks, hold up. White folks, you're affected by white folks, and that's how you act crazy.
JP, are you listening to what I'm saying?
I heard what you said. You said that the condition that we're in is because how the white folks put you in, right? And
Correct.
And that they screwed y'all up with this mindset of killing each other because y'all don't know that the white man is affecting you, so that they're like reaching out and picking you and pushing you to do things that's unmoral. That's immoral, right?
JP, this is crazy because it's see
the white
I don't know who got a hold of you and wired your mind, rewired it. We were just talking about religion, right? And we agree on religion, and we understand how religion has come about in the control that it has over people, especially young folks. It bothers me that you sit here and act like that white supremacy doesn't take control over the black mind when they're young. You act like that the media, you act like what's seen on TV, what's in the movies doesn't infiltrate the mind of the youth and create a reality within there.
So that's when you are and you have someone in there that knows better, that will educate that child. So it's not a white supremacy problem. If those things exist to you, then what will hold that together? How would they learn about that if the family structure is broken?
JP, we talked about the family structure. You keep skipping over the point that I was making. Oh, you keep saying as if it's fact that there's somebody that knows better. No, the parent is the one that took your ass to the movie to begin with. So what if the parent doesn't understand? You keep talking like just because a person grow up, they just know better. No, not the case. Not the case.
Well, how did you know better about religion?
I knew better about religion because a damn Jehovah's Witness was talking to me, and he told me certain things about the history of religion that I went and researched myself.
You was around someone that gave you some information to change your situation, right?
Correct.
So,
he wasn't somebody that I knew. I have a big family, bro. Not one person came to me and told me anything. I learned from a person that I just happened to come across when I was working at a job, and he happened to stop by and said something to me. That does. But at the time, I was what? That was what? 5 years ago. I was 40. So you mean to tell me for 40 years, no one came to me and said nothing?
No, it's not. Now that you know, that's what you do. But you educate. Right. But now you don't have to actually get that information from someone. You would know that once you have this awakening. You would know that.
Let me give you an example, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna post this one day. I had my 9-year-old son. He was on his computer, and I clicked on a black version of Jesus, a black depiction of Jesus. I said, "Son, who is this?" He said, "I don't know." I said, So I put up the white Jesus. I said, son, who is this? He said, Jesus. See, that's what I'm talking about. And it's the same thing with white supremacy. When you teach that stuff to the young children, they are easily persuaded. And if you don't have parents who know better, or parents who were taught by people who knew better, so when they have children, they can teach them better, you basically repeating the cycle from generation to generation. So then when you go back, to where our ancestors come from, that's where the cycle started. So where did the cycle start?
The cycle
we didn't know better.
Well, you know, the graph.
Where the cycle start, JP? You asking a lot of questions, but you're not answering nothing.
Yeah, I am. Look, they've been building houses and everything back in those times. Okay, so you saying when the family structure broke off, right? That's what you're saying. When that happened?
No, I'm saying that if a child doesn't, in today's day, if a child doesn't know, it's because his parent doesn't know.
Right.
And then that means that their parents didn't know because they wasn't taught. Because if they knew, they would have told that child. Then that means that their parent didn't know.
But when they know, but you don't have to keep going. So when they know, then the education will be on what? Like you know now, right? You know now. So now you educate your young one, right?
Right. But guess what? I have a 24 and 23, a 17, right? I have 5 kids. I have a 13 and a 9. Do you know the one that I talked about was a 9-year-old? So that means that I raised my 4 other children without teaching them this stuff, without educating them. Do you understand how much time went by? How much time is wasted? We got to get our children early, JP, early. That's why it's important to teach our kids about the truth, about religion, about society, about history, good and bad.
I understand that, but yes, but after that's done, what's next?
You implement it. You implement it.
Doing what? Becoming activists or becoming stand up people for your family and doing things to.
You can be a stand up. You don't have to be an activist. You don't have to be an activist, but you can be a person of integrity.
Of keeping the family, yeah. What about that?
That's yes, absolutely. That's one of them.
So that's
one of them.
That's the point that I think that Black leaders should express, that they should always express about having the integrity to keep a family no matter what. But when they put the Black in it, they create a separation.
Why does the word? We want separation. We want separation. The worst thing that happens to Black people.
If I feel like I like this white woman, I feel like I like her, and I can't join your club because of that, then I can't join it. Then after that, you know what I'm saying? What am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to leave. I'm supposed to leave my family just to go hang out with some nigga.
Do you see? Now listen to this. I want you to pay attention. I'm going to take this video and I'm going to show this video to my children because this is very important. Do you see how you just treated a nigga? Did you see how you said some nigga? But you just gave praise to the white woman. You just gave praise to the white woman and you said over some nigga.
Basically, what I'm saying is you got some nigga telling you where and what to stick your Johnson into, and if you do have if you do perhaps be happen to marry a person of not black, then you're excluded out all the so-called benefits from black leaderships. That's just what it is, though. You got to call it what it is.
Okay, let's look at the bigger picture.
When you know that he only wants black. That's all our black leaders ever said. Separation. We need our own. We need our own. Right.
Right.
And some of us still have that mindset. So when you're out and you say, I can only have this, I can't have you because of that, then you're causing division. If you don't see the division between your own people. The division between your own people. That's what you do. I can't accept you because you have that. That's division, nigga. That's saying I ain't fucking with you. Yo, what the fuck is you? I ain't fucking with you because you got that. I don't fucking with you because you got blue on, nigga, and I'm red. What is it hard to understand? That I know it seems so simple and it's far-fetched to the ones that have the anger. But once you get rid of the anger, it's not about that. It's about how do you feel as an individual? He ain't down with you or you being in that casket with your ass. You're going to go by yourself. So you better live how you want to live. And if you can't join some motherfucking club because it's all blacks and you're not accepted because you got a white wife, Spanish, Asian wife, then the world is not over. There's a lot of things that you can get involved in and to make and create an impact to the people. And for the people out there, you would never change everything collectively. You can look through the hands of time. If you want to go back, look through time. Everything happens in pockets. Everything happens in pockets. It's not going to happen in collectively. So if one person get it, guess what? If one person stops the blaming out there, guess what? You'd have done your job. Okay, it's not going to take, and that's what the black leaders do. Get under my control. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Do this, do that. No, you should not have this because this is like this. And you should not have that because this is like that. You know what I'm saying? But fuck it, man. As a human being, you should live freely within yourself. If you know yourself, you wouldn't have no black leader. Man, you'll be out there creating your own. And of course, you contribute to things that you think is necessary to contribute to. But it doesn't have to be, if it's something positive that will help all people, hey man, I'm down for it, Jack. And with that being said, John, thanks for coming in. Don't go nowhere right quick because time is busting, man. We didn't spend quite some time on here.
Let me just say this real quick. When I start my podcast, you gonna come on mine?
I'm gonna be the first one on there.
Yes, sir.
But see, the white man controls the podcast.
American? No. I feel embarrassed to be an American every day. Not really in this climate. No, like I'm a black person, so.
You will find out that some black men sound like black women. Check this out.
American? No. I feel embarrassed to be an American every day. Not really in this climate. No, like I'm a black person, so obviously I experience a lot of, there's like oppression that comes with that.
No. Be proud of what? What is there to be proud about if you're black and being like, because it's just like still a lot of stuff that goes on for black people.
I think, to be a white person, it's pretty good to live here, but like overall, I don't think it's the greatest country in the world.
Man, it's so overlooked. Black on black crime is so overlooked. Hey, I got a surprise for for everyone out there. Now I know believing is a motherfucker, right? When you believe it, you just got to believe it. When you see it, you got to believe it.
Mas tudo indica lobisomem mesmo. Ali tá empetado de gente na delegacia ali de Joaquim Távora. Os caras.
Damn. What you think about that right there? Believe that shit?
What the fuck was it?
What the what the fuck was it? Now look, if you see something like that, man, it was breathing and everything, man. Did you see that shit?
Man, what was that?
Huh?
What was that? It sounded like some Asians talking. So you know they got some crazy shit going on over there.
Spanish motherfuckers talking. I don't know what the fuck it was. It was over in Brazil. That's where they found this motherfucker at, man. They found this shit in Brazil. Well, for the people that's out there, please like and share this video. I really appreciate you being here today. I really appreciate the time that I have with you all today. And, we going back and forth on what's right and what's wrong. And that's all it is. It's what's right and what's wrong. You will feel that it's right and you will know when it's wrong. And it's a battle between good and evil. It's no term, racism, white supremacy, phoboism, homophobism, deadbeat daddyism, all the isms and blaming. It don't exist. It's all about good and evil. It's a battle. It's a spiritual battle. You know what I'm saying? Whether you believe it or not. I mean, I don't believe it or not, but it's a spiritual thing. It's a higher value of self that we're not getting into, and that's what I mean by spiritual. A higher value of someone else as well. The compassion of life. The compassion of life that, and I'm gonna be honest, the blacks are missing. And I gotta call it what it is because they're not going to see that. They're going to blame it on something else. So this platform is to show you that there are blacks doing this to other blacks that are holding blacks down. And this has nothing to do with white supremacy, white privilege, or anything. Because a lot of black people are successful within America, which is the greatest country ever. Because you can do whatever you want to do. You can drive wherever you want to drive. You can pretty much live wherever you want to live. They even got, they even making laws for homeless people in California, saying, yeah, they can live here. You can do anything in America, man. Any fucking thing. So nothing exists. It's only you're in the way of your success. You are in the way. People, we can do it. Stand up for America. We have a country to save because we do live in this country and we have to take care of it, especially if we have little ones. We have to teach them to stand up for your country, because if your country get bombed, you're gonna say, oh, China fucking with us again. Oh, China fucking with us, huh? Oh, now you're gonna say us, huh? Oh, now you're gonna say us, huh? Yeah, you better, because it's all about standing up for your country, because they will stand up for their country. Yeah, exactly. There's so many homeless people that need help, and it is crazy in California. I got a little inside connect to California. You send me all types of videos of the homeless people out there. I mean, it's crazy. Even in the good beaches and stuff like that, and they're everywhere, man. Well, before I go, man, check this out.
Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to JPTV, believe it or don't. Amazing content over there.
Yes, indeed. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video. Share it out. Hopefully the blacks out there won't continue to blame, and they will know that if they can hustle, and if I can make this money, I count how much I owe you. Okay, I can count this money right here. All right, boom. If they can do that, believe me, there's a way that they can make a better decision and have a way for another person and to be an example for another person. All right, man, I thank everyone for coming here at JPTV. This has been an amazing time. Lena, thank you for Leanne. Thank you for stopping past and kicking it with us. Make sure you follow me on Brother JP Fitness on YouTube. Brother JP Fitness 7, the number 7 on Instagram. All right, John, I'm gonna bring you back in, man. Tell the people that you're on how you enjoyed yourself, and I know you asked didn't learn anything because you're gonna continue to blame. But let me bring you on in anyway to say goodbye to the people.
Well, look here. As always,
are you gonna stop the blaming?
I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just speaking facts. It's not blame. I don't blame nothing. I just tell you what it is, and that's what it is. And I have facts. I can prove what I'm saying. And when I start my podcast, when I lay out the information, it's hard to do it right here. But when I lay out the information, and you will be the first one on it, I will make sure that you understand exactly what white supremacy is and what racism is.
So the blame has continued. Okay. Okay, cool. And I will be there, and I wouldn't mind coming there to support your platform. Thank you for everyone coming out today. JPTV, believe it or don't, check this out. If you need any training, let me know. Just get in touch with me. Let me know. My account for Instagram is Brother JP Fitness in the number 7. Right behind it. Actually, no, it's not. Hold on, I got the JPTV one. I just created that one. So let me give you that. Actually, I'm gonna type it in the chat. So let me grab onto it. Okay, that's it. Boom. Okay, that's on Instagram. Okay, all right. Thank you, Miss Wilson. Miss Wilson. Thank you for that. Yeah, we have to do everything. We got a country to save. The hate is real, and it's no one should have any leaders. We should already know what's good and what's bad. You know what I'm saying? You will feel that. You will feel that something is bad, man. And you actually don't want to get involved with that. You get these feelings, Stay away from that. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Have a wonderful night. You as well. Peace.
That's why I'm coming every week, man. It's worth it. It's all worth it.